Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today, we're going to be doing a video about Xpeng. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investment journey together. So today, we're going to be talking about Xpeng. If you don't know what Xpeng stock actually does, it's another EV company that happens to be based out of China. As you guys know, the EV market in itself has been getting a lot of traction lately, a lot of heat, especially these Chinese EV stocks, whether it be Li Auto, NIO, Xpeng. But today we're going to be focusing solely on Xpeng and why I actually think Xpeng has the chance to be a top EV company in China, and why I actually think Xpeng is a good buy right now, $37.71. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but really analyzing Xpeng as a stock in itself and the potential that this company really has to be something great. We're going to be looking at the 5-year chart. As you guys see, this thing IPO'd August 26th of 2020, just this year alone. And, you know, we have had a lot of EV companies IPO this year. I think people are truly starting to realize the amount of money that can actually be made with these top EV companies. Looking at the 1-year chart, up 63%. And now Xpeng currently sits at $37.73. But if we take a look here, I mean, Xpeng, it was doing very, very well at one point. Looking at the 3-month chart, currently up 98%. But the 1-month chart, it is down 42%. Obviously, that is a steep decline right there. And a lot of people have been really wondering why overall has Xpeng stock actually been sinking? Does it actually have a chance to go back to $70, $75 where it was once trading? For me, you guys always have to take in consideration, right? Sometimes stocks, when they first IPO, they get a lot of traction, they get a lot of heat, and then they settle, and then the stock will continue to grow, depending on how they actually do for themselves. Xpeng, as a stock in itself, they're actually doing pretty well for themselves. I've actually analyzed a lot of their earnings reports, and basically what the stock is actually doing, the company itself, how many vehicles they're actually selling, and their deliveries as well. And they're actually doing pretty good on their delivery amount, right? If you take a look compared to what they have been selling in the past, right? I mean, their sales numbers are up a very good amount. And the thing is with Xpeng, and it really why I think Xpeng stock is a great buy at $37.58, is for the potential that this company has to actually be something great. It's also backed by a lot of big time analysts, even a bunch of analysts saying that Xpeng stock is a good buy. Even one analyst saying that, you know, Xpeng is going to be one of the top 4 EV companies based out of China. As you guys know, in China, the EV market has really started to spread over there. Here in the United States, we do have Tesla. They really do dominate the overall EV game here. But in China, you know, you have NIO, you have all these other big time companies. And with Tesla actually making an appearance in China as well, has started selling more vehicles there. It's really raising the bar for Xpeng to want to have to perform. But the thing is, Xpeng currently offering 2 vehicles right now. It is the P7, which is a sedan that kind of replicates the Model S quite a bit. And then you have the G3 as well, which is Xpeng's SUV. Now, they're both beautiful cars with a lot of great updated features. And Xpeng is trying really hard to really establish itself and really start to grow from here. Why I think Xpeng stock is actually going to be doing great things in 2021 is the simple fact that Xpeng has actually made a huge move that's really going to pioneer the Chinese EV game. And that was when Xpeng started selling cars in Norway. Here's the thing. The great thing about Xpeng doing this is not only is it furthering its outreach, letting, you know, the Chinese EV market really start to expand in that area of the world, but it really shows that, okay, this is the first Chinese EV company that's selling cars outside of China. It looks really good for the brand in itself, and it overall looks very good for the Chinese EV game. Xpeng also working on a self-driving chip and, you know, the rumored flying car, stuff like that. But that's why I don't think Xpeng is a good buy at $37.60. The reason I think Xpeng is actually a good buy at $37.60 is because the rising demand of the overall EV market and the rising demand of the overall EV market in China. If you guys take a look at the statistics, they say that 20% of all car sales are going to be electric cars by the year of 2025, and they expect that number to jump all the way up to 50% by the year of 2035. And a lot of people have been saying, but oh, there's Tesla, oh, there's NIO, and there's so many rising competition up in China. What makes you think Xpeng is going to be able to do so many great things? You guys have to understand that there's always going to be room for more than just one EV company out there, right? Take a look, for example, at the general car maker today. right? You have Toyota, you have Honda, you have Dodge, you have Ford, you have Chevy. There's so many car makers out there. Some of them do better than others, but they're all very successful companies. It's going to be the same with the EV game in itself. I expected this. I did expect more than just one EV company to be coming out and really IPOing, because people know the potential that the EV market has and how it's going to be carrying us into the next decade. Xpeng in itself right now, especially at $37.51, to me looks like a very advertising investment. Like I said, with the rising popularity of the overall EV market in itself, and the rising popularity of just EV cars in general, especially in the Chinese market, the fact that Xpeng has taken the extra time to start expanding into Norway, it's a huge catalyst for Xpeng stock, and it's a huge catalyst for the whole Chinese EV game in itself. Xpeng really right now needs to really start focusing on making sure the brand stays clean, really just working on continuing beating their delivery estimates and really starting to please investors, which does lead people to ask, why has Xpeng kind of just been on the recent decline if the stock is doing so well, if the company is doing fantastic? People have to take in consideration as well that Chinese stocks overall have not been doing too well, right? There's just kind of been news after news after news. We did get the bill that passed earlier in the month of December, basically stating that if Chinese companies do not abide by U.S. auditing guidelines, they do have the chance to be delisted from the NASDAQ, which would cause a lot of the Chinese stocks to sink, along with the Chinese ETFs as well. On top of all that, we also did get the probe that did hit Alibaba. That also had a huge toll on Chinese stocks as well. Taking a look at overall that, when Alibaba got hit with the probe, the Chinese ETFs took a hit along with a lot of the Chinese EV companies as well. And even today, Xpeng down 10%. Overall, the EV market today is not doing so well. But taking a look at it, for me, this is a buying opportunity for a lot of people. I would say, really recommend people to actually buy the dip, $37.57. As stated before, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion, but I think people should actually take the opportunity, buy Xpeng stock if you're holding at a high average, whether it be $60, $75, $70, $58. Really take the time to average down, because from here, Xpeng is going to have a very bright future. Taking a look, as stated before, there's just so much more demand, rising demand for the EV market in itself. And I know that Xpeng is going to be doing great things, which does lead overall to where I think Xpeng is actually going to be headed in the year of 2021. I could see Xpeng revisiting its high stock price of $75 to $100. Like I said, taking a look at the broader perspective of what Xpeng is really going to bring for us in 2021, if they're consistently putting up great delivery numbers, if they're consistently developing their technology to be up to the game, as stated, they started selling cars in Norway, which is actually a huge catalyst for itself. If Xpeng keeps us this trajectory of growth, Xpeng stock is going to be doing very, very well in the year of 2021. And furthermore, taking a look more of like the 2-3 year down the mark, 2022 and 2023, Xpeng stock is going to be a dominant EV company, and it's also going to be a top EV company as well. I do suggest people actually pick up Xpeng stock, $37.60. I think it is worth the investment. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comments section below, guys, what you think of Xpeng stock. Do you think Xpeng stock is a buy at $37.60? If you guys own Xpeng stock, how many shares do you guys own? What's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.